It's been over 20 years since Michael Jordan won his 6th championship, and since then, the NBA has seen some of the most incredible players enter the league. Now, we're not going to sit here and debate who the GOAT of basketball is. We'll leave that to Stephen A. Smith and random burner NBA Twitter accounts. What we will say with confidence is this: MJ is the GOAT when it comes to basketball sneaker legacies. No other athlete partnership can even begin to compare with the impact Air Jordan has had on the culture. During the 90s, MJ won 6 NBA Finals championships, and the sneakers he wore during those games have all become important pieces of sneaker history. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the stories and designs behind all 6 of the sneakers he won his chips in, because, in the words of Mars Blackman, it's gotta be the shoes. By the time MJ and the Bulls had reached the NBA Finals in 1991, Jordan was already 7 years in the league. I know it's hard to imagine, but during this era, Michael Jordan wasn't the favorite to lead his team to an NBA championship victory, let alone a basketball franchise's very first. Not only did he prove everyone wrong, but the Bulls went on to sweep the Los Angeles Lakers in a 4-1 victory over the series. A momentous occasion, equally as momentous were the sneakers MJ had on feet. Designed by Tinker Hatfield, the Jordan 6 was inspired by Michael Jordan's favorite car at the time, a Porsche 911. One of the most defining characteristics of the Jordan 6 is the large pull tab on the back, which is a direct tribute to the spoiler of a Porsche. The Air Jordan 6 was also the first time MJ really started to be involved in the design process.
I spend countless hours with the technology people. We go over certain things that I feel is very important in the shoe itself, which is going to enhance my playing ability, enhance my jumping ability if possible, and try to instill that in the shoe. It's been very successful. Each shoe has improved tremendously. Shoe still feels very comfortable.
We could design a new one, but basically we wanted to find out from you whether or not you thought it was worthwhile to keep. So if you do, we'd love to keep it on there.
I wanted to get away from this and more of a clear toe, which I think we have that anyway. So
we can do that. Well, actually, that's a good idea. You don't want this extra layer.
No, just go with a clear toe.
That's great, because we'd love to do that. We'd love to. That's part of our whole thing with you too, is not only does it work better, but it always looks on step ahead of everybody else.
As you heard in the video, he directly requested to Tinker Hatfield that the toe box have a more clear toe, as opposed to the Jordan 5, which had a second protective layer around the toe box. The infrared Jordan 6 is a must-have for any serious sneaker collector, and with good reason too. The sport of basketball was elevated to new heights when the Dream Team dominated the Olympics in 1992. The star-studded roster, which included MJ of course, made basketball an international phenomenon. And coming off his 2nd championship win in a row, made Michael Jordan an international superstar. Thanks to this, the Air Jordan 7 became the first Jordan sneaker to not include Nike branding on the shoe. Tinker Hatfield fought hard to have the shoe's design focus only on the Jumpman, but Nike did have their way and sneaked a small Nike logo on the insoles. But still, Air Jordan spelled across the neoprene tongue and the Jumpman featured on the beautiful West African art inspired outsole make this an instant classic. Some of the best colorways for this sneaker are the Raptor colorway, the Citrus colorway, and the Bordeaux. My personal favorite is the Olympic 7s though. How about you? What's your favorite Jordan 7 colorway? Leave it down in the comments below, and also if you're enjoying this video, why not help us out with a little like? "1998 would see 2 of basketball's most beloved figures, Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan, in an epic NBA Finals series. By the time MJ and the Bulls made it to this point, Michael Jordan's career on and off the court had grown to unimaginable heights. The Chicago Bulls became only the 3rd team in NBA history to win 3 championships in a row, and Michael Jordan was the first player ever to win Finals MVP in each of the 3 title runs. An absolutely insane stat. Tinker Hatfield used this idea of constantly growing to inform his design process for the Air Jordan 8. If we take a look at Air Jordans up until that point, Jordans were becoming sleeker and thinner. The Jordan 8, however, was a bit chunkier and was chock full of details and complex design elements. Probably the most standout features are the chenille Jumpman logo on the tongue and the X strap, which was borrowed over from the Nike Air Raid silhouette. Michael Jordan wore the Jordan 8 playoffs after completing his first three-peat. In March of 1995, after a bizarre stint with minor league baseball, Michael Jordan came out of retirement and entered the world of basketball once again. He mostly played in Jordan 10s until he was presented with the final design for the Air Jordan 11 later that season. Nike had yet to give him the okay to wear the sneakers, but Michael Jordan loved them so much that he couldn't resist wearing them early. Led by Shawn Kemp and Gary Payton, also known as the Glove, the Seattle Supersonics faced off against the Chicago Bulls in an epic NBA Finals series. We all know what happened. Bulls in 6. On the day before Father's Day, Michael Jordan rallied the Bulls and beat the Seattle Supersonics. Weeping on the floor with a pair of fresh bred 11s on, the Air Jordan 11 would forever be embedded in the minds of lovers of the sport. Here's a fun fact about the Jordan 11. MJ wore the Concords exclusively throughout the NBA season. He didn't wear any other kind of colorway. And then when the finals came against the Sonics, he wore a pair of Breads for the very first time. And it's just interesting that he decided to do that. And thanks to that, we had 4 championships in a row where he wore black and red colorways. Was it bad pizza? Was it the flu? Or was Michael Jordan hungover? Wearing red and black 12s, MJ scored 38 points while horribly sick to lead the Bulls to a win over the Utah Jazz in Game 5 of the 1997 NBA Finals. This photo of Michael Jordan leaning on Scottie Pippen is iconic for that very reason, but even more iconic are the sneakers he had on. The Air Jordan 12 featured an updated version of the carbon fiber heel shank that had been found in the Jordan 11. The 12 also contained a full zoom air unit, the first Jordan to ever have one. Perhaps its most stunning detail is the stitched paneling upper, which is inspired by the rays of the Japanese rising sun flag. While the black and red colorway was no doubt the most famous of that series, Jordan actually won the title wearing a pair of black and white taxi Air Jordan 12s. It was the first time MJ had won a ring while wearing a pair of his signature sneakers that weren't black and red. This video is sponsored by Hefe Lux. More than 8 years have passed since boost return technology hit the market, and let's be real guys, it's one of the most comfortable, if not the most comfortable, cushioning technology available today. We all know quality control has been an issue for some brands lately, and along with QC going down, most modern releases come with a default flimsy insole. If you're anything like me, comfortability is the deal breaker when it comes to the sneakers I want to wear for the day. No matter how dope a sneaker is in my collection, I'll literally avoid wearing it if it's not comfortable. That was of course before I tried Hefe Lux. Literally boost technology in any sneakers you own. Grab yourself a pair and cure yourself of the anxieties around wearing your uncomfortable Jordan 1s for long periods at a time. Go to hefelux.com and don't forget to use the promo code NACHO at checkout for a 15% discount on us. Alright guys, back to the video. As you may or may not know, Jordan won 3 championships in a row on 2 separate occasions. So it would make sense that after winning in the Jordan 12, he would have won ring 6 in a pair of 13s, right? Well, not exactly. When the Bulls made it to the 1998 NBA Finals to face their rivals, the Utah Jazz, MJ had the Air Jordan 13s on feet. It wasn't until Game 3 that Michael would switch into an early prototype of the upcoming Air Jordan 14s. Tinker Hatfield urged Michael not to wear the prototypes, but Michael Jordan didn't care. He wore them anyway. The design inspiration for Hatfield drew from Jordan's newly purchased Ferrari 550 Maranello. The sneaker featured a really cool logo flip that turned the Jumpman logo into the original Ferrari logo. The high gloss midsole and shape were heavily inspired by the car's silhouette and body, and the stitched leather panels pulled from the interior seat construction. There's a ton of cool little details about the Air Jordan 14, and I want to save that for a full-length video on the shoe's history. But hey, if you want to learn more about Air Jordan and Air Jordan history, I put together this playlist with my brother Nacho. It's going to be popping up here or here, and it'll pop up, and it's all the Air Jordan history videos we've done. We've done, like, I know for sure we've done 1 through 7. We're going to do the 14 like I mentioned, and we're going to try to cover everything from 1 through 15, and maybe some newer models. But yeah, go ahead and click on that, and it'll take you over to a playlist of all the Jordan models that we've covered, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So go ahead and click on that, and we'll see you over in that video. But for now guys, Thank you for watching. Peace.